Wake up, wake up, wake up. Barbados, get up.
Good morning, Barbados, good morning. Good morning to you. Good morning, 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 morning. Good morning to you. Good morning, morning, Barbados, good morning. Good morning to you. Good morning, morning, Barbados, good morning.
Wake up, wake up, wake up.
Morning to you.
Indeed, good morning to you everyone, everywhere. Welcome to Wednesday the 18th of June, 2025. I'm Pearson Bowen. Always wonderful having you company and for you getting up to keep us company as well. Thank you so much for watching us on our streams on Facebook, YouTube, and also on our website, cbc.bb. You're always there. And because you're always there, we are excited to be here for you as well. So thank you for doing so. And most of all, while you talk among yourselves, talk back to us as well. We appreciate your comments and your questions as the morning progresses. So thank you very much for keeping us company online. Also, if you know of something or someone whose story you believe we need to tell, just give us a hint. Send us an email. Our email address is morninbarbados@cbc.bb. morninbarbados@cbc.bb. And to all of you, we say thank you. Thank you so much for being partners in what we do every weekday morning, Monday to Friday, from 6 o'clock in the morning. Have you been sharing the show? Have you been sharing the love? And have you been telling others about us? I've only asked you one thing to do every single day. Tell someone else about us. Let them come along to share in what we do. And for those of you who do so every day, we thank you. For those of you who are still to do so, we encourage you to give thought to it and to just share the show. Tell some others about what you experience so they can come by and experience it as well. So to all of you, a great day indeed. We hope you make the best of Wednesday, and we hope you look forward to what Thursday and Friday also would bring, but most of all, what the weekend will also bring, because there's a lot happening in Barbados, which we continue to share with you every single day. Now, good morning to you, Auntie Faye in St. Peter. Have yourself also a wonderful Wednesday. Thank you for waking up bright and early. The 718 is saying good morning to the 246. That's Anthony Smith. He is in New York. And so he's wishing all of us in Barbados a very good morning and a very good day. Back at you, Anthony. Hello to you, Vereen Walker. Have a wonderful today as well. Thank you for keeping company and waking up early to comment on our social media. Bako, how are you doing, man? Bako is also in New York. He's wishing all of us a lovely today. He sends the best to his family and friends in Barbados. Patricia Ben is also overseas in the U.S. Pat, girl, you're always up. I love it. You're there every single day. And to you, Pat, we say good morning. Rhonda Hines-Graham, I call her Sweet Rons. She's also up. She's saying good morning, Barbados family, and a Wellness Wednesday to everyone. She's hoping you too keep up the good work. You too, Sweet Rons, have yourself a terrific day. Look at this. Who's this? Rosette Applewhite. Rosette Applewhite is watching on our YouTube stream. Rosette, good morning. Welcome. Hi back to you as well. Thank you for being early and for keeping us company. We've not met you for the very first time, Rosette. Don't let this be the last at all. At all. So welcome all to what Barbados has to offer. Now coming up today, as a matter of fact on July the 5th, there is the Barbados Grand Prix. If you ask yourself what is that about, I'll ask these gentlemen in just a little while so you get to know the answer, so don't go anywhere. Also today, we get the lessons learned from last year's brush with Hurricane Beryl. What have we learned and how can we recover? Should we be met by another natural disaster? We get to know more details about an initiative led by Barbados, and we'll talk to the folks behind that initiative in just a little bit. This morning when we talk HR with Hermab, we'll look at it from a man's perspective. Men in HR, are we breaking the stereotypes? You know, there was a time when HR practitioners were mostly men. Actually, leaders in business were men. Suddenly now there are lots of women, not suddenly, but over time there are lots of women. And it now becomes almost strange to see men in HR roles. But why is that? So we meet two men who are HR practitioners, who are people analysts, and so they'll join us to talk a little bit about that when we talk HR with Hermab this morning. Also, the recipient of the Phoenix Award in the recently concluded National Youth Awards will join us. We'll hear her story and how she has, through her work, been impacting on our community. It's also the 20th anniversary of the 5 C's. What are those 5 C's? And what are those 5 C's, or have they done over those 20 years? We'll talk to them about that as well and introduce you to their fantastic work in the Caribbean. And what is Green Rising about? Any thoughts? You will find out before the day is done today. So there's a lot to share with you this morning on this wonderful Wednesday. We'll take a break here. When we come back, we will reintroduce you to the Barbados Grand Prix and a whole lot more. Stay with us.
Morning, morning, morning. Good morning. Good morning to you.
There is a saying, you can find a Bajan anywhere. Are you a Bajan living abroad? Or do you know of one who has migrated to another country? Well, we at Mornin Barbados would love to have you or them on our Bajan Affair segment. Share your amazing stories, experiences, and how you have adapted to a new culture. Send us an email to morninbarbados@cbc.vb, and together we will travel the world.
Some ask, what makes Barbados so special? We at Mornin Barbados say it's you, our exceptional youth. You are talented, resilient, and inspirational. You are the epitome of the Barbadian spirit, testing the boundaries of your creativity. If you are an entrepreneur, artist, baker, designer, author, or have done anything you think should be highlighted, email us at morninbarbados@cbc.bb. Let us show the world our exceptional Bajan youth.
The Ministry of Youth Sports and Community Empowerment's Bridges television series is back.
Morning, morning, morning. Good morning. Good morning to you.
You know, time is going so swiftly. It's already 7.5 minutes after 6 o'clock. Let's turn our attention to the upcoming Barbados Grand Prix. Barbados Grand Prix. And when you hear Grand Prix, you're talking about the best of literally the best in track and in field. It's upcoming, but these gentlemen know a lot more than I do. I'm happy to be introducing you this morning to the man with the idea, Aaron Spencer, who is already an outstanding Barbadian athlete. He's overseas studying, but he stumbled upon this opportunity for many people of Barbados and the Caribbean. Aaron, good morning to you. Welcome.
Good morning. Thank you for having me.
You're welcome. You're also the talent liaison.
Something like
In other
that,
words, you're
yeah.
hunting for talent.
Correct.
Indeed.
I reach out to everyone.
And reaching out to everyone.
yeah.
Jamal Grosvenor is the coach of one of those 4 teams of coaches who will be compiling and comprising a number of athletes indeed. Jamal, good morning to you. You're with the Lions. You're the coach for the Lions.
Good morning. Thank you. Yes. Coach for the
Lions
Lions team.
roar.
Yes.
Correct.
Lions are ferocious.
Yes.
Lions are the king of the jungle.
And we're very prideful in that.
Well
Yes.
done. Good use
Very
of the word
prideful in
indeed. Well, Gabriel is watching you. Gabriel Berta is here. We know Gabriel is an outstanding Barbados coach indeed. And Gabriel is looking at you saying, what? You got to be kidding me. Gabriel, good morning to you.
Good morning.
And you're coaching the Eagles.
Yes, it's hunting season.
There you go. There it is. I love the competition already. I love the
already.
rivalry.
It started
And so,
already.
Aaron, talk to me. Give me a little bit about the background. Why did you come up with this Barbados Grand Prix?
Yeah, I'm always looking for ways in which I could, I'm young, but still looking for ways in which I could contribute in Barbados sports. And obviously, track and field has my heart. That's where my heart is. So the idea kind of came to me randomly because I was thinking of a way in which we could have a team aspect in Barbados track and field. And then I really liked the idea of the draft. So in something like CPL or IPL, they have a draft. I was like, well, what if we have something like that in track and field? So I immediately called my dad about it, and he reached out to a few, members of the board that have done it already, that have produced meets already, and then they reached out to the coaches, and everyone was really on board and very excited about the idea. So since then, it's been really smooth sailing from then, and we're happy with how things are going. It's
structured in the way where we have 4 teams,
Correct.
4 coaching teams,
Correct.
really. And so talk to me about the structure to it.
Yeah, as you said, 4 teams, and as I mentioned earlier, it's a draft. So there's a pool of athletes that we selected, and from that pool of athletes, so let's say Mr. Grosvenor has the first pick, he will pick somebody. Then Mr. Burnett has the second pick, he will pick somebody, until there's 2 people in every event, and then 8 people per event. So and then 2 people per event per team.
If it's hurting your head, don't worry about it. It's hurting mine too. Don't worry. It doesn't matter for us who are just spectators, but because of the integrity of this sport meet, it is important to understand all of that.
Correct.
And so you said you had a pool of athletes from
Correct.
which the draft is made.
Correct.
And how did you pull that pool together?
A little bit randomly, because based on like my intuition with the athletes, but also I looked at like the world athletics rankings in terms of times and distances, and I was able to pull like the top 12 times and top 12 distances from each event. So that's kind of that's what the pool was made based off of. And then obviously some other, because if you see there's some regional talent that's coming. So that's, again, that was just based on my intuition, who I believe that would, you know,
bring
contribute.
some excitement to the game.
Yeah, bring some excitement to the games, exactly. So again, very excited, especially with the regional integration. And yeah, it's been really smooth so far.
These are brilliant athletes, and mostly Barbadian, but there's some regional people as well. So we're looking at the best of the Caribbean.
Correct.
In Barbados on the 5th of July. The 5th of July is when this all happens. And so Jamal,
Yes.
as the leader, the one with the pride, the Lions coach, talk to me a little bit about how you sought to go about your draft and selecting from the teams.
Actually, it was quite strategic. For me, I had the first pick in the draft, so it was important for me as a Barbados Grand Prix to make the selection being the first Barbadian. So I selected Kishonna Niles first, and I just went with that tradition of seeking out that strategy of going Barbadian first. So I am what you would call the home team. They don't like it, but I'm really the home team.
Correct.
As in all of your athletes are Barbadian.
I think really and truly in my group, I think we have the most Barbadians in my group. So I would just love to see that when we go to the Grand Prix on July, that we have a sea of yellow, because we want it to be like an inter-school sports field where everybody comes and supports for their teams.
Okay.
If we could have a sea of yellow, that would be great for us. But we are Barbados' team.
So you're Gabriel laughing real bad. So yellow is your team.
Yes.
Green is your team, Gabriel, I suppose.
But we would like to stray away from the yellow and like we're thinking for the future, so we can go with gold.
No problem. So gold is what it is.
Yes.
Yellow to our eyes, you know. But come down to gold. He's going for the gold. So Gabriel, talk to me a little bit about your strategy then in determining your team.
Well, my strategy was different. We selected a team that could win. Ms. Critchlow, Mrs. Gamble and I, we're both teachers at the St. Michael's School, and we have this tradition of coming out on top. So we wanted to keep that going. Our strategy was just to win. But we knew that we had a lot of Barbadians that we could draft. So our team is a pretty good blend. We have a lot of Barbadians, but then we went to the Caribbean. We even went as far as America, right? And Grossner wants gold, but we're green, and it's hunting season. So we expect to see a lot of green in the stands. And I know the St. Michael crew, our colors are already green, so I know a lot of St. Michael people are going to come out. So I anticipate seeing a lot more green than yellow. Gold.
That's your anticipation at the finish line for sure, as winners.
Oh, most definitely, most definitely.
All right. So you said you drafted someone from the United States. Did you also draft from within the region?
Yes, we have Barbadians. I think everyone's familiar with the name Akila Jones. She's making a return this year, and we made her a priority for our team.
All right.
Right. So we're pretty good about our team.
Brilliant. And so, Aaron, finding these folks and getting their agreement to be a part of it, how challenging or easy was that?
It was actually pretty easy. Once we sent out the idea, and we also had like a lineup of what it looked like, it was pretty easy. Everyone was on board and very excited really quickly, and we were very happy about that, because that's all they wanted. They wanted to, have something for, especially the college athletes who are often forgotten about, to have something to be excited about. So the response was really welcoming.
So in other words, you're at Baylor, and you're saying, y'all are forgetting about me. I want to meet to compete. Are you yourself competing?
Yes, I'm on the Lions team with Mr. Grosvenor. So yeah.
We know what we're in for.
Correct.
So what events are we expected to see in competition on the 5th of July?
Yeah, the 100 meters, always exciting, the 200 meters, the 400 meters, the 800 meters. Those are the 4 running events. And then, and the sprint hurdles, the 110 meter hurdles as well. And then you have the long jump and just the long jump so far.
Okay, so far. You're expected to have other
we're working on some relays.
Listen, there's nothing like a relay.
Correct.
So bring it on, bring it on. The relays are on, and so
Correct.
these two coaches are telling me that they're winners. There are other teams as well. Well, who are the other teams?
Not really important, but they're the Lions, obviously, then the Panthers, the Eagles, and the Outlaws.
Okay, the Outlaws and the Panthers we haven't met yet.
Yeah.
But certainly this is coming up on the 5th of July, folks. It's going to be at the Usain Bolt complex.
Correct, Usain Bolt.
And a lot of people know that are asking, how do I get in there? Because I really want to watch this. What's going on?
Yeah, so can't remember the box offices off the top of my head,
that's all right.
but I know that tickets are on sale via ticket links. They're going pretty quickly now, so I would encourage anyone, if you haven't yet, get your ticket because it's going to be a very, very exciting, never before seen competition. So
what time does it start?
6 o'clock p.m.
Oh, yes.
Yeah, perfect time. Perfect.
I mean, Gabriel knows about Glow Sports. So
Yes,
Gabriel,
yes.
All right, we don't deal with the sun.
we don't deal with the sun, but action in the dark, in the night, indeed, but the lights will be on and bright and beautiful. And so we want all of you to come out in your numbers. Bring the youngsters as well.
Correct.
I mean, will there be coaches, scouts, at least there watching?
I'm sure. I mean, I don't know exactly who's going to come, but I'm sure there's going to be some very important people there.
Yeah,
Some
I can
very
tell you
important people there.
There's at least one coach I know that's coming for sure.
Yeah.
That is Darian Clark's coach at Benedict College. I know for sure he will be here, and Darian Clark, former St. Michael's School boy, is also an Eagle, so be ready.
Jamal, don't let him get away with this. What do you have to say?
He got
I will say that the global interest has been there, and just getting the accreditation from World Athletics means a lot. So it's going to be a prime event, and it's going to be very interesting, and it's going to be lots of fun.
It's going to be lots of fun. So the Eagles and the Lions are ready to hunt, and hopefully may the better team win. We're looking forward, folks, one and all, to July the 5th. July the 5th is where we'll all assemble at the Usain Bolt complex from 6 in the evening. Remember, what's the ticket?
Ticket links.
Ticket links.
You can get online, you could just type in ticket links and it will come right up.
And there you go. Get your tickets because this is going to be a ding-dong battle really between the best of Barbados, from Barbados, and also from the United States and the region. I know one of those is coming in from Trinidad and Tobago, a very well known name. So every good reason for you to be in the Usain Bolt complex coming up. Tickets are very, very affordable, by the way. And all of these athletes are competing for cash.
Correct.
There's some cash, there's an honor for those doing so. And so the teams have now been comprised, and we're just waiting for all of you to come down to the Usain Bolt complex. 5th of July, beginning at 6 in the evening. Go to TicketPal.
Ticket links.
Ticket links.
No worries.
See all these ticket names?
Yeah.
Ticket links. And get your ticket real early. And get your team. Come down. And get into it, indeed. So thank you so much, Aaron.
Thank you so
all
much
the best.
for having me.
Thank you, Jamal. Thank you, Gabriel, as well. All the best.
you.
Good luck to your teams.
Thank
the
you.
Eagles are ready to swoop. The Pride are saying, you know what, we got Pride to defend. And so we
Correct,
can do this. And we're going to see what the Outlaws will do as well. And
Like
Panthers.
Again,
and the Panthers.
Not important, but
all right, folks. We're going to the Usain Bolt complex on the 5th of July. The Barbados Grand Prix. All the best. Thank you. Back in a moment.
Morning, morning, morning. Good morning. Good morning to you.
There is a saying, you can find a Bajan anywhere. Are you a Bajan living abroad? Or do you know of one who has migrated to another country? Well, we at Mornin Barbados would love to have you or them on our Bajan Affairs segment. Share your amazing stories, experiences, and how you have adapted to a new culture. Send us an email to morninbarbados@cbc.vb, and together we will travel the world.
Some ask, what makes Barbados so special? We at Mornin Barbados say it's you, our exceptional youth. You are talented, resilient, and inspirational. You are the epitome of the Barbadian spirit, testing the boundaries of your creativity. If you are an entrepreneur, artist, baker, designer, author, or have done anything you think should be highlighted, email us at morninbarbados@cbc.bb. Let us show the world our exceptional Bajan youth.
The Ministry of Youth, Sports and Community Empowerment's Bridges television series is back. Join us every Wednesday at 8 p.m. with a repeat on Saturdays at 5:30 p.m. on CBC TV 8. Don't you miss it.
God will not give you a job. God will not call you to do something and then not give you the capacity to have it, to make it happen. He will give you the resources, he'll give you the people. Not only will he equip you with ideas, but he will equip you with favor, as he did Nehemiah.
Turn on the latest episode of Infinite Possibilities, only on CBC TV 8, every Sunday at 1:30 p.m., sponsored by Covenant Life Teaching Center.
Welcome to Nature's Discount, the ultimate health food store. At Nature's Discount, we have thousands of quality products at great prices.
Hi guys, Dottie here with Nature's Discount, and today we are talking about solar ray, microbiome, probiotics, and why you should be taking them.
And we have well over 3,000 amazing products to help you get healthy.
For your health tips, tune in to CBC TV 8 every Monday, Tuesday, and Thursday for Nature's Discount, sponsored by Get Healthy Incorporated.
Week after week, Scald presents exciting reports and documentaries on the most varied topics of our time. Spectacular developments and innovation.
Morning, morning, morning. Good morning. Good morning to you.
22 minutes after 6 o'clock now. I asked you at the top of the show, what lessons have we learned from the brush from Hurricane Beryl? Really, what lessons have we learned? What? To move away from the coast, is that sufficient? And what else is Barbados doing to ensure that not only are we able to respond, but to recover from any natural disaster, really? And so we're happy to be joined this morning as we delve a little bit deeper into a project being launched in Barbados by Dr. Naraya Carrasco, who is a Senior Disaster Risk Management Specialist with the World Bank. Next to her is Federico Beckley, who is a Senior Country Officer for Barbados, Belize, and the Caribbean, also with the World Bank Country Management Team. And across from us is the 100% Bajan, Mr. Gerald Anthony. He's the Project Manager for the Beryl Emergency Response and Recovery Project Execution and Coordination Unit. A lot of words, but they're significant words indeed. And I'll start with you, Gerald, because I want to give or get context into why this project is being undertaken.
Well, morning, Pearson, and morning, Barbados, and all of the beautiful people of our lovely island of Barbados. Well, Beryl is the Beryl Emergency Response and Recovery Project. This is being designed by the government of Barbados. Is really a climate change blue economy project, and it has been designed to repair, rebuild, and refurbish. I would like to say all of the entities within the blue economy corridor of Barbados that was destroyed by the passage of Hurricane Beryl as it brushed us on the 1st of July 2024.
It was just a brush, but it left lots of devastation indeed.
It certainly did.
We saw it down the island chain, what has happened. But as you're correct in saying, it devastated our fishing industry, a livelihood for a lot of people, but also a means of which we are fed. And so there are lots of lessons. It affected also our coastlines. That's also critical. And then the question always is, now knowing that, having gone through that, what do we do? And how is this project structured so that we now not just know what we have to do, but to be able to build in that resilience that we're looking for?
Well, when we talk about climate change, Pearson, we're talking about rebuilding stronger and making sure that we are more climate resilient, as you rightfully said. Our aim as the Project Execution and Coordination Unit, which is dubbed as the PECU, we are going to be looking at rebuilding the fisheries industry per se, and all of the fisher folk vessels with more climate smart boats. What does that mean? We're going to be looking to design and build boats that are tougher Yes, they can resist storm surge, and if anything happens to them, they will, like they bounce against a wall or something, they're not going to break up and sink. We're going to be building boats that can self-right themselves, so if they capsize in the water, they will right themselves. We're hopefully rebuilding vessels with technology involved, which will be climate smart technology like solar power, engines and those kind of things. As it relates to the infrastructure, we will be doing climate smart infrastructure as we rebuild the blue economy on the island. The facilities will be able to again resist or withstand storm surge that is affected to severe weather systems like Beryl. We're going to make sure that the materials that are used to build these structures are more resilient and can withstand all of the effects and the strong winds and those kind of things. And of course, when it comes to disaster risk reduction and mitigation, we're going to be looking to use, I would say, smart technology, a lot of AI and machine learning tools to devise a framework or a system to make sure that any severe weather system that is looking to threaten Barbados, we can do a forecast of what effects it will happen and we can mitigate against that.
Dr. Carrasco, banks assess risk. And while we look at risks sometimes and smile because there are opportunities, at the same time, you don't want to invest in what you consider to be too risky an idea. Talk to me a little bit about what the World Bank sees from this partnership with Barbados and the ways it can work.
So, good morning, happy to be here. So yeah, when assessing the risk is very important because it informs decisions that governments takes. So when we were preparing this project in response to Beryl to help the country recover, of course we did an assessment of whether the damages, how far it went, and then also thinking about what can happen in the future. Because with climate change, we will unfortunately have more of these type events. And let's say that we said Beryl brushed the island, but in the future it might not be the case. So what is important is to understand what are the risks, what can happen, and then based on that take informed decisions that will allow the country to be better prepared and better respond, and then in case of need, better recovery afterwards. So that's why it's very important to know your risks and then inform your activities. And the project that was designed with the government is taking into account experience of other projects that the World Bank has in the Caribbean and in the world to have a strong and fast recovery. And then as Gerald was mentioning, we're focusing on rebuilding the fisheries marina, the breakwaters that we can withstand stronger hurricanes than Beryl. Of course, if we get like a 5 or 6 now, it's out of the scale, then it might be difficult, but it will be a stronger breakwaters that will protect the marina, that will protect the boats, and then the whole fishing industry in that area.
Someone asked, what's in this for the World Bank? Why are you doing this? You can take on other projects elsewhere, but you choose to do this with us.
More than we choosing is Barbados ask the bank to help in this recovery. And then maybe I can pass on to Fred for talking about the broader aspects that we have in the engagements we have in Barbados and in the region.
You just said the word I wanted to go to next, which is the region. So Federico, because you're not just focused on Barbados alone, and there are other coastlines, there are other communities in the region who are also impacted by disasters, natural disasters such as these. Talk to me about, from where you sit, what you see, and the relevance of not just this project alone in terms of a teaching tool to be replicated, but working with the World Bank.
Yeah, good morning, Pearson. Absolutely. I also cover Belize and the overseas countries and territories, and we see a lot of the same vulnerabilities, risks throughout the Caribbean. The World Bank is a global organization. We also see the same thing in the small island states in the Pacific. But I think this is why we've introduced something called the Crisis Response Toolkit. It's actually a new tool in the World Bank's arsenal. And Barbados was a vanguard in pushing this initiative. On the eve of Beryl, Barbados signed something called a climate resilient debt clause. and it allows Barbados to pause any loan payments in the wake of a natural disaster. Barbados was the first country in the World Bank to sign it. It was actually Mia Motley's idea, and she pushed it globally for some time. We've also approved a contingent financing tool that was in April, and that allows Barbados to tap into about $30 million of liquidity in the wake of a natural disaster or a health pandemic, things along those lines. So our goal in the Caribbean is to increase the climate resilience of all of our clients, and we implement very similar methodologies throughout. As Naraya said, we don't actually go out seeking these projects. These are based upon client demand. So the countries come to us for support, and we provide it.
And so here it is. We're about to launch this project for Gerald.
Yes.
What's the time frame within which you see this project working for success?
Well, the government and the World Bank, along with the European Union, they have scheduled 6 years for the successful completion of the project. I see that being achievable. However, I want to remind the Barbadian public that with every passing year, we experience a hurricane season. And so all it takes is for another Beryl, unfortunately, to brush us or hit us. And then that window of I would say, successful completion would then be pushed out in terms of timeline. But, pray that that does not happen to our lovely island. I can see that within the 6-year time period that has been allocated for the Beryl Emergency Response and Recovery Project, that it will be a resounding success, Pearson.
And over those 6 years, we'll see because we like to see for ourselves just what's happening. If we don't see it, we don't quite get it at times. We will see the investment in terms of dollars to be able to develop a program. Forgive me, folks. Sinuses are like that, to build out the capacity to be able to respond and recover following a hurricane. We'll also see repair and rehabilitation work ongoing. And so I just want that to say it like that so that Barbados, as they drive by and they see the work going on, they'll see that this is a part of this recovery project being funded through the assistance of the World Bank. We'll also be seeing the strengthening resilience for future events, which is also important, very, very important indeed. And we will also be seeing a move towards contingent emergency response and project management. So all of these will flow there from this partnership with the World Bank. And for each of you, I say thank you. I really want to get off the screen because this is not good for you at all. But I really want to thank you so much indeed, World Bank, for assisting Barbados in this project, and to you, Gerald, and your team for being able to conceive it and be able to have the association with the World Bank and work this through for the good of Barbados. Thank you very much all.
Thank you, Pearson.
Thank you very much.
You're very welcome. Morning Barbados breaks right here. We're back in just a moment.
Morning, morning, morning. Good morning. Good morning to you.
Week after week, Scold presents exciting reports and documentaries on the most varied topics of our time. Spectacular developments and innovations, lifestyle and trends of tomorrow, mobility and tourism, health news, highlights from art and culture. Each contribution grabs the viewer with extraordinary images and stories and takes him into fascinating worlds which he experiences here exclusively and up close. We're there when companies and specialists develop super satellites for a global network in space and can look behind the scenes. Scold is a window to everything that is there or is yet to come. Fly with us through time to better understand today and tomorrow. You've always wanted that. Scold, a look into the future.
Our world today is not the world God wants it to be. One of the reasons, which will surprise many, is that our planet, its governments, and its peoples are all living under the weight of Satan's rule. From the beginning of mankind's existence to today, human history is the written record of what it means to live under the rule of the devil. Yet that rule is coming to an end. and what a difference that will make.
Every Sunday at 9 a.m. on CBC TV 8, tune in for Tomorrow's World, sponsored by the Living Church of God.
Books open your heart, your mind, and your soul. They are educational, entertaining, inspiring, and motivating. Are you an author of a recent book you want to share? Then Mornin Barbados would love to feature your book in our The Next Chapter segment. Send us an email to morninbarbados@cbc.bb. That's morning without the G.
Morning, morning. Good morning. Good morning to you.
24 minutes to the top of the hour as we turn our attention now to Talking HR with Hermab. And I remind you that with membership comes benefits. So if you're not yet a member of Hermab, but you're an HR practitioner, then perhaps you need to give further consideration to that. If you're just into people and helping people, give consideration to that. Hermab.org.bb, the website to which you go and to seek your membership. All right. In Talking HR with Hermab today, we want to look at breaking that stereotype, because there's a thinking that HR is a woman's role. But we have two men here who are HR managers indeed. One is an actual active HR manager and the other is a people's analyst. And I asked the question, what is that? Well, joining me next to me is Neville Lashley, Human Resources Manager, and next to him is Gershon Ford, the people's analyst. Gentlemen, good morning to you.
Good morning. Good morning, good morning.
Is the people's analyst just another name for HR manager?
No, it is not.
What's the difference?
I am involved I analyze all of our data surrounding our employees, so everything from our recruitment to engagement metrics and stuff like that. I analyze that to pull out the insights for our organization to kind of then help the organization plan strategically going forward as to how do we engage, what do we do, how do we manage certain things. So definitely not quite the HR manager in the context that you would expect HR managers to do, but more of an analytical role.
That's interesting.
Yeah.
Didn't know that it went into all of that, the metrics behind it all, indeed.
It really does.
All right, so Neville.
Yes, please.
People tend to think it's an emotional position. You have to be so touchy-feely. And they think that men are not touchy-feely. Is that a myth?
It is essentially a myth that you have to be touchy-feely when it comes to HR. Yes, you have to be people-oriented. You have to have a certain level of emotional intelligence and also a level of emotional awareness, because you're going to be dealing with some sensitive matters from time to time. You're going to be dealing with issues which essentially come down to how people feel about it. So from that perspective, then yes, you have to be in touch with your emotions, so to speak. But HR is more so a strategic leadership role where you make active decisions on the day-to-day planning, organizational culture, the stuff that needs to happen going forward, recruitment. Is a lot more a lot more detailed than just dealing with people and their feelings and so on. It's a strategic leadership function where you're responsible for essentially the direction the company is going to go in, the people that you're going to bring on, how they're going to fit into the organizational culture, making sure that performance management is in place. There's a whole slew of areas that you have to be cognizant of.
Did you know all of that going into HR, or did you just think HR to be, let me track vacations, let's deal with sick leave, let's do those kinds of things?
My route into HR wasn't the traditional route. I was actually encouraged by a labor officer to go into the field based on our interactions, the guy named Jamal Jones. He's the person who would have encouraged me to go into the field. So I essentially went into it from knowing the disciplinary process, knowing the core functions, but not necessarily the full gambit of what I was getting myself into. It was a bit of a surprise dealing with some of these things that would have been expected of me and some of the things that I would have been encountering. But it was a pleasant surprise, so to speak, and one that I thoroughly enjoy.
In terms of, because men tend to want to shy away from that role, because of what I said at the beginning, which is they say to be this softer side of managing people. Getting yourself battle ready, because you're dealing with different characters. What did you have to do to be sure that you can be the best HR manager you could possibly be?
To be the best HR person you could be is essentially to put yourself in another person's shoes, see it from their perspective, and then try to
make your decisions based on that. You have to be very decisive, very. It's a role where you have to realize what is good for the business, what is good and what is not good for the business, and make a decision on the fly. There are times where you will have to consult with the other key shareholders, head of departments, the persons who would be managing the individuals or individuals in question. But it's a role where to be the best, you have to essentially, as I said, be people focused. Put yourself in other person's shoes, see it from their perspective, and then balance that with what is best for the business going forward and how best the business will, your decision will impact the business.
Integrity is important. Your integrity as a practitioner, as an HR manager, is equally important, or even more important than one could think, because you want the staff to be able to trust you when they come to you to share. That not only are you listening, but you'll keep it confidential, but you'll also do something about it.
Correct.
So how easy is that for you to be able to sit in that chair as an HR manager to do what you have to do within that context?
It's not difficult for me from that perspective, because I'm a very principled person. I believe in doing what is right and do what is in accordance with the law. So I always base my decisions based on what is legally permissible and also what is the right thing to do. And once you bring that approach, you find that the staff will trust you very quickly, and they'll be very willing to confide in you, to tell you things that you essentially should know, things that you probably ordinarily wouldn't know. And it allows you then to get more from the personnel, because then it was put them in a place where they trust you to be the person that can handle their sensitive matters, to handle their issues, their grievances, to handle the day-to-day of whatever they may need from you at that particular point in time. So integrity is integral to making sure that you get trust from the employees.
Are men coming forward to sit with HR and say, listen, man, this is what's going on? Are men doing that, or are men just seeking to handle it on their own?
Yeah, honestly, well, I can speak for me personally. I've developed a persona at work where everyone talks to me. They're not afraid to come to me. My door is, I joke and say that my door is a revolving door, because men and women alike, they come to me, they tell me what's going on, they tell me what they have, what's going on, what they would like help with, and I then just go with the flow from there. So it's not a case where the men shy away from speaking to me. They talk to me in my office, they don't bump me on the yard, in the corridors, talk to me, and it's okay.
That's cool, that's really good.
Yeah.
Now, Gershon, as the analyst, you're looking at data. You're taking all of this information and you're finding trends and so forth. Generally, what kinds of trends are you noticing from where you sit as a people's analyst?
A lot of different things. I think one of the things I'm looking at, engagement being more than events, for example. I'm really thinking when we talk about the full gamut of an employee's engagement, what does that really mean for them? Because some people may like a fest, some people may just want a jazz event, different things like that. So just it's really collecting the data based on the things that we're trying to understand, so that we can then plan the way going forward. So you are seeing certain little things popping in, you know, amongst employees, what matters to them, you know, that rewards and recognition matter, that people want to feel appreciated by other than just their salary. Really wanting that one-on-one, somebody to say, you know, you did a really good job this week, or you did, giving you the credit for things like that. So there are little things that you see coming in. Once you start to collect enough data from the people, you're able to see what they're saying and then be able to say, okay, this is what we need to do.
So reward and recognition is one.
Yeah.
What else? I don't push you.
Yeah, you are. We see rewards and recognition. We see a desire for, honestly, appreciation is really critical, I think, across the board. Being very honest with you, not just trying to stick it on that, but really realizing that nowadays there are lots of employees just generally who don't feel appreciated by the place that they work.
Are they able to share with you what that recognition and acceptance could look like?
Yeah, we're able to ask the right types of questions to get the information that we want without making people feel like, you know, they're sharing more than they need to share. But because, you know, there's trust involved there as well, and people know that the data will be used only for the purpose that has been asked, yes, we're kind of able to start to get those types of
sharing that information with the HR manager now, in terms of being able to say, but look, this is what the data is saying, and to get that buy-in from the HR manager, is that easy or difficult?
So I could only speak for me.
Yeah.
So in my context, I find that it is an enjoyable experience. I think because we align on, at least my boss, we align on where we'd like to see and where we'd like to see the organization go, what we would like to see be done. And so it's kind of it's a good relationship where I'm able to say, well, they're saying this. So a lot of times what the data may very well be doing for us is kind of validating what we may think just anecdotally in our minds. Now we have actual data to prove it. So now it's a different conversation between I think so-and-so or I feel so-and-so. I can tell you the people have said this. And that brings a lot more, earth to the conversation, because then people know, okay, this is serious and we need to do something about it.
How did you become a people's analyst? Because when your colleague next to you became an HR manager, he was not doing that. That was not necessarily his focus, but he was invited to consider it, give consideration to it. So becoming the people's analyst, how did that come about?
Let me give you it in short, as best as I can. I previously had been an HR manager and an HR officer, and I was an HR officer responsible for people and culture and doing all of those things, recruitment, engagement, performance management, everything. I was doing an interview one day for an analyst role in the organization, but in a totally different space. And I really had an epiphany about, this is probably what you should consider doing this, because it seemed interesting. Went home, researched everything I could, went to work the next day. I had a conversation with my then head of department. She informed me that certain things had been happening in the organization, certain changes were happening, and if it was something that I was seriously interested in, then the opportunity was available because somebody had been moving, and if I was interested. And I said yes, I was, and here we are. I had no idea what I was getting myself into, but looking back on it now, really the best decision that I think could have been made for me and encouraged and supported and allowed me to kind of find myself in this spot now.
So much to unpack from that comment alone, so much. But we'll take a break. We'll come back talking HR with Hermab and looking specifically at men in HR right after this.
Morning, morning, morning. Good morning. Good morning to you.
Books open your heart, your mind, and your soul. They are educational, entertaining, inspiring, and motivating. Are you an author of a recent book you want to share? Then Mornin Barbados would love to feature your book in our The Next Chapter segment. Send us an email to morninbarbados@cbc.bb. That's morning without the G. Come and let us turn those pages together.
Hey there, it's Mahalia. I want to share something that might be really helpful. If you're feeling anxious, overwhelmed, depressed, or lonely and have no one to talk to, call Lifeline Barbados. We all face struggles at times in our lives. You're not alone. There's no need to feel ashamed or embarrassed. It's okay to reach out for support. Lifeline Barbados is completely confidential. No one else will know you called. They're there to offer a caring ear and guidance without judgment. And fellas, I want you to know asking for help is a true sign of strength.
Morning, morning, morning. Good morning. Good morning to you.
We're talking HR with Hermab this morning, looking at men in HR. I'm happy to be joined by himself as a human resource manager in Neville Lashley, and with him a people's analyst in Gershon Ford. And I ended with Gershon sharing with us that this whole thing about a people's analyst was something he stumbled upon because it's his passion. And his organization was kind enough to him to be able to create the space for him to be able to do so. And this is something I would like to know from you, Neville. Is this more and more what you're seeing happening in HR, not just overseas, but in Barbados, where you have people's analysts to assist the HR manager?
Well, from a European, American point of view, yes, there's a lot of that. In the Caribbean, not so much, but we're getting there.
How important do you think it is that we need to get there faster?
I believe that we should get there faster, because Gershon's role would allow me, persons like me in my position, to be able then to make more decisive decisions based on actual facts and data, rather than feeling of what was going on in the organization. Because I may get the wrong interpretation, or the other persons assisting me may get the wrong interpretation, but a data-driven decision is always best. in any circumstance.
And I'm glad you say it like that, simply because oftentimes when people are considering cuts, they figure, why do I need a people's analyst? I have an HR manager, that's his role. Figure it out. And you're saying to us this morning that it is important to have positions known as people's analysts to assist with the data, because
Correct.
the data is important when you're making decisions and not just shooting into the wind, shooting into the dark, but to be able to be driven by actual statistics that prove the point. And so, knowing what you know now, Gershon, talk to me about what anybody who's watching, other men who are watching, what do they now need to do to become a people's analyst? Because I'm fascinated now.
So I would say, number one, don't let me answer like that. Let me say this instead. I'd say I am innately driven to see people better. So that's first for me. I want to see people's lives be better regardless. And so for me, the value, or what I would encourage people to do, is to understand that, as you said, when organizations are considering how they want to maneuver and what they want to do, we analyze data about everything else in our organizations, our business, our customers, we do all of that. Well, it would be equally valuable for us to now think about how can we do this for our organization. The hardest part might be getting started in that process of collecting the data, figuring out what you want and what you want to see and stuff like that. But once you're able to start to get the buy-in that allows you to collect it, the value is then going to speak for itself. I think that has been, for me, maybe my greatest reward thus far. That maybe there might have been people initially who were kind of wondering, oh, what is this? What is he actually doing? But now that you can kind of see, oh, this is actually helping us make better strategic decisions financially in terms of how we want to go and stuff like that, it will really bring, it validates itself. So I would encourage everybody, if you're interested, it really would be something just to start to think about, what do we need to know and where do we want to go? That's the first question. If we know where we want to go, we'll figure out what we want to know, and then we'll be able to move forward.
In determining what data you collect, who determines that? The organization or you? I say, I'm going to look at all of this and then I'll bring it to you.
So it's a bit of both. I think initially, when I got into the role, it was more my boss telling me, well, this is what I would like to know. But over some time and developing trust and stuff, it's a bit different now, where I'm able to look at things and in noticing the trends then come and say, have you thought about this? This is something you should be interested in.
Right.
And then that changes it, because ultimately you don't want, in a space like this, for the organization to always tell you, we want to know this, because then you're reactive. You really want to get to a space in data where you are predicting and prescribing interventions before it happens. The only way to do that is to kind of know.
So what kind of data do you mine? What do you look for?
There's everything.
Like
I'm
what?
looking at
how long she takes in the bathroom. How long? Is that what? Is that it?
No. We're not interested in that type of stuff.
So
For
what are you
example,
interested in?
let me give you an example. Best way. One of the things that I would have done recently, or a project that I would have been working on, was kind of along the space of building personas for employees and kind of getting a sense of what ideal employees will look like in any space. So by doing that, you're looking at all of the data surrounding maybe top employees, not well-performing employees over the past couple of years, pulling out the insights from that so that we're able to have a clearer idea for our recruiting teams, for example, have a clearer idea of these are the types of people we should be looking for. Because recruiting is a very tedious process, and it is very costly depending. So it helps us a little bit more if we're able to know, well, we're strategically looking in these spaces for these types of people, rather than just kind of, dynamite fishing and hoping for the best that it works. It may or may not.
You guys have such interesting jobs. You don't know. I'm sitting on the edge deliberately, because it is so fascinating what HR is now doing. I wished I had more time to delve a little bit deeper into men in HR, but it's good to know that it's the men in HR who I've met, because I don't know who started it, but that these guys are leading the way in this new approach to how we manage our human resources indeed. And so, gentlemen, well done.
Thank
and
you.
I thank
you very much.
Thank
I
you.
thank you for just being men and being well done at what you do.
Thank you.
Thank you.
And leading the way indeed. Neva Lashley, Human Resource Manager, Gershon Ford, People's Analyst. And now we understand what it is when we say he's a People's Analyst, what that job also entails. But it also goes to show that men can be fantastic HR practitioners as well. And so we commend these two gentlemen. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much.
Remember, membership brings benefits. Hermab.org.bb. Go there and sign up, get to know what other courses and opportunities are available to you, and grab hold of them very, very strongly. We want to make a difference in our communities and in the spaces where we interact with people. We're back in just a moment.
Morning, morning, morning. Good morning. Good morning to you.
Books open your heart, your mind, and your soul. They are educational, entertaining, inspiring, and motivating. Are you an author of a recent book you want to share? Then Mornin Barbados would love to feature your book in our The Next Chapter segment. Send us an email to morninbarbados@cbc.bb. That's morning without the G. Come and let us turn those pages together.
Morning, morning, morning. Good morning. Good morning to you.
Coming up in August, the whole world will be turning their eyes to Barbados for Carifesta 2025. It is happening, folks, and it's going to be spectacular. Take a look at our Prime Minister's invitation to the world to come to Barbados.
Hello to my dear Caribbean family and friends of the Caribbean the world over. This is your sister inviting you to Carifesta, the most spectacular, exquisite festival of the Caribbean arts ever. After a 6-year hiatus due to the COVID pandemic, we are hyped and ready to celebrate the sheer joy of being Caribbean. The government and people of Barbados, my friends, have the honor of hosting the 15th edition of Carifesta from the 22nd of August to the 31st of August of this year. I can assure you that we are hard at work here and that it will be beyond your expectations. The climate crisis, my friends, coupled with global economic uncertainties and the terrors of war and rumors of war, have become staples, regrettably, of our daily diet in the last few years. And in the face of these challenges, we can sometimes feel completely helpless. Yet we also know well the deep sources of our own power, the power which on the most difficult days helps us to get up, rise up, take a few steps, and face the world, ready to engage, come what may. Like a promise eternally fulfilled, joy always, always comes in the morning. This is the resilience that defines us as people of the Caribbean. We are no ordinary people nor no ordinary generation. We carry the DNA of ancestors who survived the very worst with a heroism and a heroism that ensured that their children, grandchildren, and great-great-great-grandchildren would one day be carried safely ashore to a world of freedom with respect for their humanity. It is at times like this when we still quietly grieve for the thousands of loved ones lost to a pandemic. And when, try as we can, we just can't find firm ground under our feet, that we turn to each other, hold hands, look each other in the eye, and rediscover our inherent capacity for a joy that soothes our pain and opens our hearts to the magical powers of hope. It is this tradition of resilience, my friends, that has and continues to sustain and inspire us to give of our very best. This is why Carifesta 15 will be no ordinary festival. We intend to be true to our theme of Caribbean roots, global excellence, as we reflect on and celebrate and showcase who we truly are. What it will be is the explosive unleashing of the grand reservoir of Caribbean creativity and capacity for celebration. Yes, yes, we have earned this moment, and we must claim it. Carifesta will commemorate where we've come from, where we are at this moment in time, and where we're going on our road to transformation. I want to therefore invite you to join us here in Barbados from August 22nd to August 31st for Carifesta 15. Bring your music, your art, your craft, your dancing, your drama, your food, your drink, your stories, your ideas, your experience, your laughter, your joy, and of course, your love. Bring it all in together. Let us share it with the world. As we would say here at home, miss it and blame yourself. I hope to see you there.
Morning, morning, morning. Good morning. Good morning to you.
Let's look at the news now. A new climate school is set to be built in Barbados. Prime Minister Mayor Abba Motley has announced that construction of the new Charleston Academy at Charleston Park, Colombo Rock will start soon and should be completed within a year. She says government is partnering with the US-based XQ Institute in the development of the new school to be adjacent to the Royal Bank of Canada. It will serve as a model for 21st century learning in the Caribbean. She made that announcement while delivering the feature address at the opening of this building, the Oceania Innovation Hub at Carlisle Bay last evening, which is aimed at fostering innovation and education transformation. It's another collaborative between Barbados government and XQ Institute.
To recognize that we can lead the world by creating the Barbados Climate School, which will focus on persons from 4th form and 5th form, the lower 6th and upper 6th, recognizing that on a parallel track, we will also create a similar school for robotics and AI, because without these tools of resilience and inquisitiveness and capacity, our children are liable to become victims of this world rather than shapers of their destiny and firm craftsmen of their fate.
The sustainably designed facility, located on the grounds of the former Coastal Zone Management Unit, is a dynamic space focused on ocean innovation, climate research, student empowerment, and future-ready learning. The Prime Minister says the initiative represents a key pillar of government's ambitious education transformation agenda, which is committed to ensuring that every child has access to fair, inclusive, relevant, and modern education that unlocks their potential.
This is a journey that requires each and every one of us to participate and to prepare our children, to prepare our people to become resilient, to recognize that we need to benefit from that which is ours, which is not only land, but the ocean, to understand it, not to be afraid of it.
Well, Barbados continues to work towards advancing its domestic payment system infrastructure to be more inclusive, efficient, and resilient. Governor of the Central Bank of Barbados, Dr. Kevin Greenidge, says modernizing the national payment system will integrate the payments network. He says this includes promoting real-time settlement for retail and wholesale transactions, empowering micro and medium-sized businesses, and also supports greater systems transparency, security, standardization, and interoperability. Dr. Greenidge was addressing the opening of the two-day regional instant payments workshop at the Central Bank.
We expect to see a lowering of transaction costs, operating costs, settlement times, all the while promoting financial inclusion. Across the globe, far and wide, you find that the central banks are leading this most successful implications of the implementation of the faster payment system. The efforts are ensuring that the national payment system remains safe, it remains efficient, and it remains accessible to all, especially the underserved and the underbanked.
Dr. Greenidge adds that the Central Bank has a responsibility to provide a payment system which will not only keep pace with innovation, but will also benefit all citizens, the financial sector, and the economy as a whole.
We've placed strong emphasis on making sure we have the state-of-the-art. We've placed strong emphasis on making sure we have best international standards. While we expect that we will achieve interoperability, we'll be able to build a solid foundation, one of robust governance and strong cyber mechanism. We are very eager to learn from our regional partners' experience.
Well, let's look at sports now. The West Indies women lost the one-day international series to South Africa women 2-1, going down by 166 runs under the DLS method in the third and final match at the 3Ws Ovals yesterday. Well, set into bat, the South Africans were grounded by an impressive century of 101 from player of the match Tasmin Brits,
and 75 from their skipper as they posted 278 for 6 from 45.5 overs. Affy Fletcher took 3 for 53. After a few rain delays, the Windies women needed a revised target of 298 from 45 overs, but fell way short, eventually bowled out for 121 off 27.5 overs. Claxton led with 43, while Masabata class took 4 for 25. Here are the highlights. And that's our news. More news coming up at 12 noon right here on CBC TV 8. Morning Barbados takes a break. We're back in just a moment.
Morning, morning, morning. Good morning. Good morning to you.
Hey there, it's Mahalia. I want to share something that might be really helpful. If you're feeling anxious, overwhelmed, depressed, or lonely and have no one to talk to, call Lifeline Barbados. We all face struggles at times in our lives. You're not alone. There's no need to feel ashamed or embarrassed. It's okay to reach out for support. Lifeline Barbados is completely confidential. No one else will know you called. They're there to offer a caring ear and guidance without judgment. And fellas, I want you to know asking for help is a true sign of strength. It takes real courage to reach out. You can also call Lifeline Barbados if you're worried about loved ones who are struggling and you need advice on how to support them. There's a saying, a problem shared is a problem halved, but not everyone has someone they can confide in. That's why Lifeline Barbados exists, to be there for you or someone you care about during tough times. Save this number. Lifeline Barbados is just a call away. Remember, you can reach out whenever you need to talk.
There is a saying, you can find a Bajan anywhere. Are you a Bajan living abroad? Or do you know of one who has migrated to another country? Well, we at Mornin Barbados would love to have you or them on our Bajan Affair segment. Share your amazing stories, experiences, and how you have adapted to a new culture. Send us an email to morninbarbados@cbc.vb. And together we will travel the world.
Some ask, what makes Barbados so special? We at Mornin Barbados say it's you, our exceptional youth. You are talented, resilient, and inspirational. You are the epitome of the Barbadian spirit, testing the boundaries of your creativity. If you are an entrepreneur, artist, baker, designer, author, or have done anything you think should be highlighted? Email us at morninbarbados@cbc.bb. Let us show the world our exceptional Bajan youth.
The Ministry of Youth Sports and Community Empowerment's Bridges television series is back. Join us every Wednesday at 8 p.m. with a repeat on Saturdays at 5:30 p.m. on CBC TV 8. Don't you miss it.
God will not give you a job. God will not call you to do something and then not give you the capacity to have it, to make it happen. He will give you the resources, He'll give you the people. Not only will He equip you with ideas, but He will equip you with favor, as He did Nehemiah.
Turn on the latest episode of Infinite Possibilities, only on CBC TV 8, every Sunday at 1:30 p.m., sponsored by Covenant Life Teaching Center.
Welcome to Nature's Discount, the ultimate health food store. At Nature's Discount, we have thousands of quality products at great prices.
Hi guys, Dottie here with Nature's Discount and
Morning, morning, morning. Good morning. Good morning to you.
What you just saw is a snapshot of what unfolded at the Frank Cullimer Hall recently for the National Youth Awards. There are winners across our island, the young people who are doing tremendous things. And so those tremendous things were recognized at the National Youth Awards. And boy, oh boy, oh boy, are we thrilled to know that one who has been with us, and literally from a little girl up to now, a big grown woman, is the recipient of the Phoenix Award in Ashley Lashley. And so we're happy to have you, Ashley. Good morning and congratulations.
Thank you so much.
You're very welcome. You have a little baby next to you.
Yeah, for sure. It's a whole person.
Indeed. And so we're also with us this morning, Donicia Mears, who is the PR and marketing consultant in the Ministry of Youth, Sports and Community Empowerment. Donicia, good morning to you as well.
Good morning.
Congratulations. It's all over now.
Yes, yes, yes. It was a wonderful event. I think it was excellent. I enjoyed every bit of it. And that was the feedback that we heard from a lot of the awardees, a lot of the attendees. It was an excellent show.
Nice. That's really good to hear. Give us the rationale behind hosting the National Youth Awards.
Okay, so we didn't have it for a couple years. So we started back in 2022, I believe. And we just want to celebrate the young people. We want to give them their flowers. We wanted to ensure that they are celebrated for the work that they put in. A lot of times young people are doing stuff, they're doing their work and it goes unrecognized, right? Things is hard out there, you know, trying to put things together, work, do your projects and stuff like that. You encounter a lot of obstacles, and sometimes it's just good to have that recognition, knowing that somebody is looking on and seeing that you are doing good things. So we are bringing back the National Youth Awards, and we're hoping that as years go by, we have more persons nominated, more young people recognized for their hard work.
And you're quite right, because oftentimes they're just doing the work, not looking for reward or recognition. They're just doing their work.
It's true.
But to know that someone took the time to think of you,
Yes.
to nominate you,
Yes.
to collate the information about you to support that nomination
Yes.
must mean so much even to begin with.
Yes.
So right away you begin to feel yourself a winner.
Yes.
Knowing that someone saw me.
And sometimes that's all it takes. All it takes.
Yeah.
To keep going.
Exactly. And so that's what you do. You're giving opportunity for young people to be recognized, but also encouraging other people, young people, to keep going.
Yes.
Because next time it could be you.
Yes, for
And
sure.
the Ministry of Youth, Sports and Community Empowerment wants to say to all the young people, indeed, keep doing well what you're doing. Because while you may not necessarily be the recipient of an award, but just mere mention of that puts you in the spotlight. And being in the spotlight really for something positive is exactly what we want happening for young people every single day. And so the ultimate award, which is the Phoenix Award, and when you think of the Phoenix, you think of the person or that entity that really rises beyond the ashes, who looks at everything around them and sees opportunity, who looks at everything around them and don't see despair, but to see the possibilities that flow therefrom.
Yes.
That's Ashley Lashley. Ashley, talk to me a little bit about one, knowing that you were nominated to start with, and then what it felt like sitting in the hall and waiting.
Well, before I get there, Pearson, I must say you're a poet this morning.
Waxing warm, girl.
But being nominated for the Phoenix Award indeed has been an honor. And as I look at this award, I remember there is a Swahili saying that goes, "Ndio," and that means yes to life. And you know, throughout my entire journey, when I started the Schools Against Non-Communicable Diseases at age 16, I even wrote a column yesterday in Nation newspaper asking why me? And that over the years, being presented with all of these opportunities, I often used to question, why am I being afforded these opportunities? And then someone dear to me said that you don't question God. So I stopped doing that, and I just recognized and understood that clearly it's my purpose and it's my destiny. So when I was nominated, it was a humbling experience because all of the work that I do is for the empowerment of young persons on social and environmental issues, and I'm never looking for a reward. Where I grew up, I've saw and interacted with many young boys and young girls who have been stigmatized based on where they come from and don't know where to access opportunities. So in creating the Ashley Foundation, with our primary focus being youth engagement on climate change and health, we wanted to take that a step further to show young persons that anything is possible. You know, I believe that any challenge can be solved, and I think that when there's a will, there is a way.
Of course.
And I think through the Ashley Foundation, empowerment of young persons is key towards any achievement within their life. And a lot of young persons today don't feel seen. And as a young person myself, engaging with young persons, even in my role as CARICOM Youth Ambassador through the Growing Tomorrow's Harvest Project, interacting with the young boys at Gratley Adams School and just like relating to them on their level, and allow them to know that in agriculture there's money to be made and that they just have to be passionate about something. You may not have the answer today, but I think throughout the last 9 years of my activism journey, one thing that I've learned is that because I don't know the answer today, that doesn't mean that I need to give up.
Yes.
Maybe along the way, I'll discover what that answer is, and I'll take all of those tools and make it into something that is relatable to my passion and my destiny. So that's the message that I try to relate to many young persons. So I would say the Phoenix Award, I mean, I know I've been doing a lot of work. A lot of persons ask me how I get it done. I still don't know how to answer that question. But I think is a way to show young persons that anything is possible. And you, based on where you come from, based on where you want to go, never be distracted. Always be passionate about what you want to do, and don't let somebody tell you no, you can't do anything. Be brave enough and confident enough to tell persons that you can, because along my journey of advocacy and activism, many persons look at me and say, well, you're so young, how you expect to get that done? And I love when somebody tells me no, and I think that's the power and the passion in me. When someone tells me no, I need to show them that I can get it done. So with the Phoenix Award, I'm hoping that I can ignite fire within many young persons who can believe that all possibilities are endless.
Anything is possible indeed. And so I keep going back to that song in my head. Impossible. Sorry. Now, you sat in the Frank Cullimore Hall. There are other nominees other than yourself, and all of them have been doing phenomenal work. And so little Ashley Lashley's name was also mentioned.
Yeah.
But while sitting there, you're doubting, I'm sure, for a little moment.
For sure.
So talk to me about that. Yeah, talk to me about that.
So honestly, when I received the invitation as one of the nominees for the National Youth Awards, I was like checking social media all the time, the youth page to see who were the other nominators. And I remember sitting there in the room, seeing the list go by, and acknowledging the incredible work that other young persons are doing. I'm like, man, this is going to be a big one. They might not choose me because I always hear the name Ashley before. So I was like, man, it could be cool if somebody else win. I'll congratulate them, etc. But then when I heard my name, I was shocked. But honestly, it was just a recognition and a reminder that within the youth space, I'm not the only one who is doing amazing things. And the other nominees also were highlighted. And the fact that they were also recognized on the day must be commended by the Ministry of Youth. And being able to engage with them after the National Youth Awards, I think that's amazing. Many young persons also came up to me and said, Ashley, you're my idol. I've been following your journey. I want to know how to start a foundation, how you've gotten that far. So I made it based on the National Youth Awards and what it represents. I think it truly shows young persons that anything is possible. And there are multiple young people in Barbados that are doing amazing things. And persons are seeing them, as Donica said, and they just need to continue.
We shall continue right after this break.
Morning, morning, morning. Good morning. Good morning to you.
Welcome to Nature's Discount, the ultimate health food store. At Nature's Discount, we have thousands of quality products at great prices.
Hi guys, Dottie here with Nature's Discount, and today we are talking about solar ray, microbiome, probiotics, and why you should be taking them.
And we have well over 3,000 amazing products to help you get healthy.
For your health tips, tune in to CBC TV 8 every Monday, Tuesday, and Thursday for Nature's Discount, sponsored by Get Healthy Incorporated.
Week after week, Scold presents exciting reports and documentaries on the most varied topics of our time. Spectacular developments and innovations, lifestyle and trends of tomorrow, mobility and...
Morning, morning, morning. Good morning. Good morning to you.
23 minutes after 7 o'clock now as we continue to bask in the brilliance of our young people indeed. And there are tremendous young people out there in our society who are doing things to make a big benefit to our community, not just to self. And it's that selflessness that I think we all see, and when we do see it, we nominate them. And so many were nominated for this year's National Youth Awards, but there could only be one winner in each of the categories, and there were several categories. We are happy to have this with us this morning, the recipient of the Phoenix Award, the ultimate award in Ashley Lashley of the Ashley Lashley Foundation. But Donicia Mears, who is a PR and marketing consultant in the Ministry of Youth, Sports and Community Development, I have to get that right, because this changed so much a lot indeed. You know, knowing that it came off so well, knowing that so many hundreds of young people were nominated, and knowing that you could only choose one, I know that makes it very difficult for you.
It really did. Even at the award ceremony, I think just sitting down there, listening to see who would win, because as Ashley said, you know, to me the competition in some of the categories were really tight, and I was just like, who is going to win? So I think that was one of the things to highlight. As Ashley said, also it just shows you that a lot of young persons are doing exceptional work, and it is great that we can nominate them, we can highlight them, and just give them the time to shine.
Yeah, and they need the time to shine.
Yes.
And so you know how it is on Morning Barbados. We do exceptional youth.
Yes.
Because for us, we have the same point of view.
Yes.
We need to let them shine. We turn the light on the darkness, and darkness flees from it.
It's true.
And so in turning that light on the darkness, we turn on to the brilliance of our young people.
Yes.
And we create a far more wholesome and positive society, and that's what you do at the ministry.
Yes, for
and
sure.
so I know that a little later, while we're featuring Ashley today, and over time I'm hoping, fingers crossed,
you'll
we bring some of the others.
Yes, you'll be seeing them throughout the course of this week and into early next week.
Great, but tonight,
Yes, we have Bridges, and that is at 8 o'clock, and you'll be able to see some of the highlights of the National Youth Awards, some interviews, and just how persons thought it went, and just some highlights of the show. Also, we will be airing the show on CBC very soon, so you could look out for that as well.
right? So you'll see the full National Youth Awards on TV very soon, but tonight in Bridges, you get a good sense from the recipients, how they felt, the work that they're doing, the things that they're thinking of doing, and their passion. Because their passion is so inspiring. You know, Ashley caused me pause when she started to talk a little bit about what she does and how people are inspired by what she does. And I'm sure a number of you feel equally the same. And so that's what we want to have for our young people. Sometimes we look around and we think, what to do next? But then we see them and we think, wow, that needs to be told, and that's what we want. And so Patricia Ben is saying, Ashley, my dear, you are a great inspiration to the youth all around you. And so she's even seeing you becoming the next you were from there. But that is good, and that's the purpose of the National Youth Awards, for people to see them, to see that these young people could be the next leaders,
To see the potential, for sure.
yeah. And so that's what the ministry does. Congratulations from Marcia Rock to you, Ashley Lashley.
Thank you.
I mean, people love you, Ashley, naturally, to start with, and we know how life is.
Apparently, I'm a
sometimes.
likable person.
Maybe because that's what it is. Maybe because it's the work that you do too. And so, what's next? I'll ask you what everybody probably asks you all the time anyway, which is what's next for Ashley? What flows from the head of Ashley into the heart of Ashley to come through the mouth to say, this is what I want to do next?
She be piercing according to the young person. Portrait today.
Tell you.
But what's next to me? I have no idea, if I'm being honest. I told someone up to yesterday, I no longer plans anything in my life. Because whenever I say I want to do X, God said, no, Ashley, I'm taking you on a different path. So I'm no longer planning anything career-wise. I'm open up to all opportunities. But next for me is the Carifesta Youth Village. I'm the youth coordinator for that. So I'm working with a great team to see how many young persons can be engaged on culture and art. So that's my next avenue. And then later in the year, the Ashley Foundation is celebrating 5 years this year. So we're doing the Barbados Youth Climate Action Summit. When we did it 2 years ago, we had over 800 youth participating. So this year we're looking to triple those numbers for our 5th year anniversary. And we'll have students marching for climate action.
And tomorrow on Friday.
Oh yeah, and tomorrow on Friday there's the Small Island Future Festival as well at UWK. Feel free.
So you had to be ready of that. As you said earlier at the beginning, you said, you know, you no longer make plans. Yolanda Adams has a song called If God Says Yes. Only if God says yes, I'll make my move.
I should listen to that.
And so as I heard you, I heard that in my head. And because it's so true, we can plan all we want. But when God says yes is when that plan happens.
Yeah.
And so I'm glad you're obedient to that, indeed. And it's that obedience that really leads you to the success that you're experiencing even now at this stage and much more in the future. And that's what I'm sure, Denise, you want for all young people, again, to acknowledge that there is another power that exists alongside you. And if you root yourself in those realities, the great things will grow therefrom. And so the Ministry of Youth, Sports and Community Empowerment continues to create that fertile field from which that will grow. And as you said, Lord, the poetry is really indeed. So remind folks again, tonight.
Tonight, this is at 8 o'clock p.m. sharp. You're going to have Bridges, and this will feature, all the work that the ministry is doing as it relates to the youth and so on, but you will see highlights from the National Youth Award. You will hear some of the testimonials and how persons felt at the National Youth Awards. So I encourage you to Join us and tune in.
Indeed, and look out soon, coming up to TV8, the full National Youth Awards as we celebrate the excellence of our young people in Barbados. So to each of you recipients and to all of you nominees as well, congratulations. Congratulations. Well done, thou good and faithful servants. Enter. You know, so, and I want to wish you all did well. So thank you so much, Donicia, and thank you, Ashley, as well. Keep doing well what you do.
Thank you.
You're welcome. We're taking a break right here. We're back in a moment.
Morning, morning, morning. Good morning. Good morning to you.
Week after week, Scold presents exciting reports and documentaries on the most varied topics of our time. Spectacular developments and innovations, lifestyle and trends of tomorrow, mobility and tourism, health news, highlights from art and culture. Each contribution grabs the viewer with extraordinary images and stories and takes him into fascinating worlds which he experiences here exclusively and up close. We're there when companies and specialists develop super satellites for a global network in space and can look behind the scenes. Scold is a window to everything that is there or is yet to come. Fly with us through time to better understand today and tomorrow. You've always wanted that. Scold, a look into the future.
Our world today is not the world God wants it to be. One of the reasons which will surprise many is that our planet, its governments, and its peoples are all living under the weight of Satan's rule. From the beginning of mankind's existence to today, human history is the written record of what it means to live under the rule of the devil. Yet that rule is coming to an end. And what a difference that will make.
Every Sunday at 9 a.m. on CBC TV 8, tune in for Tomorrow's World, sponsored by the Living Church of God.
Books open your heart, your mind, and your soul. They are educational, entertaining, inspiring, and motivating. Are you an author of a recent book you want to share? Then Mornin Barbados would love to feature your book in our The Next Chapter segment. Send us an email to morninbarbados@cbc.bb. That's morning without the G. Come and let us turn those pages together.
Hey there, it's Mahalia. I want to share something that might be really helpful. If you're feeling anxious, overwhelmed, depressed, or lonely and have no one to talk to, call Lifeline Barbados. We all
Morning, morning, morning. Good morning. Good morning to you.
At the beginning of the show, I asked you, do you know what the Green Rising program is about? I'm sure a number of you, if not each of you, said no. And I said, all right, so you'll find out today. Time to find out now. Thank you for being patient as we are happy to be introduced to you, the people behind the Green Rising program, Tamaisha Aitul Harvey. She is the director of Future Barbados, and with her is Nadi Albino, who is the deputy director of partnerships with UNICEF. Good morning, ladies.
Good morning.
Tamaisha, I'll talk to you first. Talk to me a little bit about the Green Rising project. What is it about?
So the Green Rising Initiative is a partnership between UNICEF and the government of Barbados to make climate action central to youth. I've seen the theme of this morning. There's a lot of climate talk, a lot of youth engagement. How do we amplify that work that's already being done across Barbados to make youth the center of the climate movement? This looks at 3 three different ways. How do we boost climate entrepreneurship and ocean entrepreneurship? So what is the next generation of fisher folk? What is the future? Good, bless you.
Bless you too, thank you.
We're saying, you know, it's because I'm telling you great things. You're very inspired. Because the environment, yes, the environment, we're helping to get rid of the dust in the air. That's a good climate entrepreneurial action we can take. We also want climate advocacy, so it becomes all young people from this nation are climate advocates. And it's a story that is not just Ashley Lashley alone. It's not just one or two people trying to push this forward, but we're creating a whole of nation approach where all young people are empowered with the tools to be advocates around climate, but also education. How are we embedding climate education across the different works that's been happening here in Barbados?
I mean, you live what you believe. Your earrings, your outfit.
I came ready. I came themed. Totally. Thank you.
And so on Friday, you're launching the Green Rising program.
Yes.
And then from the launch, how are you now making this a lived reality for the young people of Barbados? What are the things that are actually going to be happening?
So we'll be launching a training program for climate entrepreneurs. These can be agropreneurs, oceanpreneurs, or people who just have ideas of the next climate solution. We'll have mini grants given to, because you can't just train people without giving them the tools to take things further. We'll be doing that. We will be working in schools to boost volunteerism in the communities. So not just you're doing it just for the sake of doing it. How are we incentivizing young people to really get out there? How are we bringing people together? How are we connecting people who are doing different projects across the country in climate action, whether it's just a beach cleanup, whether it's a recycling program? How are we bridging all of those? And specifically, not just specific types of people who get involved in climate, but we want to work with communities. We want to work with the prison. We want to work with the youth future farmers who are already doing this work, the disabled community. So we're bridging together things that are already happening and providing financing and support to boost those programs.
If I'm not an activist in climate already, what's in it for me? Why should I take a chance on you to do this, to join this Green Rising program?
Well, climate is all of our businesses. You know, we had thunderstorms yesterday. We don't know what the wind is going to do tomorrow. We don't know where our food is going to come from. It's the anniversary of Beryl is coming up. It's all of our business every day. And climate action and advocacy isn't just for UNICEF to do or specific people to do. We all have an individual role because literally it's our lives and livelihoods combined. We don't know where our food is coming from because we don't know what's happening next week with the imports could change, but we need to start growing our own food. Lots of people are doing that, but we need to boost that work and boost the resources to that work.
I like that you're starting with the youth, and UNICEF has a focus on young people as well. And so, Nadine, talk to me a little bit about how it became the no-brainer to partner with the Green Rising program.
Well, obviously we are very cognizant of the fact that young people are doing amazing stuff all the time. Young people are intentional, they're purposeful, they're looking at a world that they're going to inherit that might not exist. So already now they're taking leadership in taking that forward. So we sat in UNICEF and said, how can we offer opportunities to these young people? Just like Temesha is saying, you know, it's all about, first of all, you know, motivating them, incentivizing them, etc. And young people have continuously said, we have ideas, we have solutions, let's co-create, but bring us the resources and the tools and the investments that we need so that we can make that difference. So basically that is how Green Rising was born, in terms of how do we galvanize young people globally around this agenda. And we've seen that in Barbados, it's a living testimony among the young people, and as you have mentioned, Temesha is here in full regalia to represent that. And we realize that this is where we can actually beam to the rest of the world the tenacity and the optimism and the determination of young people in terms of dealing with the issues of climate.
The old adage, teach a man to fish.
Yes.
As opposed to feeding him just simply the fish.
Correct.
And so building from the grassroots up is something that UNICEF does in terms of creating the environment such that it is one that is fertile for future generations to come.
Yeah.
And so I'm sure that's part of your mission as well when you partner with this.
Yes, absolutely. So we're part of a platform called Generation Unlimited. Generation Unlimited is a public-private youth partnership. It's unique in that we have the youth as part of the partnership. So you normally hear about public-private partnerships, But here, as I said, youth anchor, youth center, youth lead, youth co-create. So out of this public-private youth partnership, where we bring together heads of state, heads of government, captains of industry, young leaders like Ashley Lashley you had on earlier on, they come together and look at what the problems are and co-create, and then the leaders bring in those resources to help the young people to move forward. We're cognizant of the fact that talent is universal and opportunities is a big challenge. So really that's where we come together to kind of drive forward this agenda on climate. And also because the Prime Minister of this country has been on the global stage advocating for these issues, standing up on for these issues, and has spoken very strongly right from COP26 up to now, every opportunity she gets. And that's why we say this is where we need to go. They're already cognizant, and the rest of the world can actually learn from it.
Tamaisha, forgive me.
No worries.
You're the director of Future Barbados. Yes. You're not dealing in the now. You're dealing in the future. And so talk to me a little bit about that, the initiative, Future Barbados 1, and how Future Barbados sees this Green Rising program being a part of the Future Barbados.
And the future is now, so we can start there. We can't think about the future without thinking about now.
Right.
Future Barbados is an innovation think tank that was born at the Prime Minister's office in 2021 as a challenge to find the talent, the young talent, and activate them to solve problems. So over the last 4 years, we've been working with young people here and in the diaspora as well to design solutions for various challenges, whether it's the blue economy, the green economy, whether it's sport. We've been trying, what we do is we find the talent, we empower the talent, and that means positioning them in different entities, on different programs, and solution design, and funding some of their solution design. But we also do a lot of partnership brokerage, like with UNICEF right now, because we realize not every solution will come just from your idea while you're sleeping. There are things that are happening globally that we can bring to Barbados. There are partners who are willing to work with us to boost the capacity of what we're doing. So Future Barbados is that bridge, that nexus where the public sector, the private sector, the multilaterals, and the talent can all meet together to co-create. That's the word Nadi's been using today, to do this co-creation in different sectors. So UNICEF is one of our great partners. We have some key private sector partners who've come on board as well. We work with the Ministry of Education, so we supported the Oceana launch last night. It is the future for Barbados, is a future where solutions are helped and designed in Barbados that can leapfrog our economy and not just be band-aids, not just be reactive and band-aid solutions. Mm-hmm. We're thinking 50 years down the road, what is the Barbados of 50 years? Who are the people of the next 50 years that we want to create?
Mm. And so oftentimes because we're small, we work in silos.
Yes.
And we are not aware of the ecosystem that says you can be a part of. So for those who are watching today who are trying their own thing, struggling at times, making some successes at times as well, but they see now the true benefit of Future Barbados, how can they reach out to you to join and to get the push to do even more?
FutureBarbados.bb is the best place to start. Go on our website and sign up. We are bridging innovation and entrepreneurship at that space where science meets technology, because we believe that also Barbados needs data-driven, policy-driven, and technology-supported solutions to leapfrog us forward. So we strongly encourage you to join the Future Barbados community, because we don't know what we don't know who we don't know as well. And as we're bringing different partners into the space, we want to make sure that we're finding the right talent and placing people with the right talent to take it forward. I'm just one person, but I'm the representative of thousands of young people, and it's not an age, we're not age biased at all. Mm-hmm. The future of Barbados is all of us working together.
Right. So futurebarbados.bb, the website, futurebarbados.bb. So with the Green Rising program,
Is it just about planting trees and bush? And
Oh, definitely not. We are not just planting trees. We may be planting trees on Friday, depending on the rain, to kick it off. But it's everything from the small community activity to do you have an idea in a climate solution or technology that you are investing in? Do you want to create the next go-kart made from sargassum seaweed? Do you want to build furniture using natural tools and etc.? It doesn't matter what it is. What are the solutions that you're building? We want to build your capacity as an individual, as a community, as the team who wants to do those things. And so the programming will be, what month are we in? June? From July, you'll hear more. You'll be finding out more about Green Rising and how you can get involved. We'll be partnering with organizations already doing great things, the Future Farmers, the Ashley Lashleys, the work that the prison farming is doing, the work that they're doing in the communities on the block. We're trying to make climate not just a very exclusive space, but a space where everybody, whatever the idea you have or the space you have, you'll find a place in Green Rising.
FutureBarbados.bb, the website is right there on your screen. That's what you'll find when you put in FutureBarbados.bb, looking for talent, thinkers, dreamers, creative doers. We're looking for you to be a part of it indeed. And so rather than just sit in your little cocoon and think the world is just me, the world isn't just you. There are others like yourself. And so it is that coming together of thinkers, doers, dreamers that really makes everything possible. And so nothing is impossible. I'm coming back to that theme from Cinderella again. It's impossible? Nope, it's possible. And UNICEF partners with us to be able to make everything even more possible indeed. And so to each of you ladies, I wish you well. Friday is the grand opening. Indeed, it's the launching. What time is the launch?
In the morning at the Botanical Gardens at 10:30.
Okay. In the heat of the day.
In the heat of the day.
10:30
It might rain, so maybe bring your boots and your raincoats also. We'll see.
It's a lovely location, so now you know where we're going for Green Rising. And then listen from July for more ways in which you can be a critical, integral part of Green Rising for Barbados. We're talking future Barbados, we're dealing with it now. And so for those of you with ideas, passions, thinkers, doers, all of you creatives, indeed the space has now been created for you. FutureBarbados.bb, the inspiration and innovation engine. That's what they refer to themselves as. And so find yourself in the space. Thank you so much, Nadi.
Thank you.
Thank you so much, Tamisha, as well. All the best indeed, and good luck. Really.
Thank you.
You're
Thank
welcome. We're taking a break here. We're coming back in a moment.
Morning, morning, morning. Good morning. Good morning to you.
Hey there, it's Mahalia. I want to share something that might be really helpful. If you're feeling anxious, overwhelmed, depressed, or lonely and have no one to talk to, call Lifeline Barbados. We all face struggles at times in our lives. You're not alone. There's no need to feel ashamed or embarrassed. It's okay to reach out for support. Lifeline Barbados is completely confidential. No one else will know you called. They're there to offer a caring ear and guidance without judgment. And fellas, I want you to know asking for help is a true sign of strength. It takes real courage to reach out. You can also call Lifeline Barbados if you're worried about loved ones who are struggling and you need advice on how to support them. There's a saying, a problem shared is a problem halved, but not everyone has someone they can confide in. That's why Lifeline Barbados exists, to be there for you or someone you care about during tough times. Save this number. Lifeline Barbados is just a call away. Remember, you can reach out whenever you need to talk.
There is a saying, you can find a Bajan anywhere. Are you a Bajan living abroad? Or do you know of one who has migrated to another country? Well, we at Mornin Barbados would love to have you or them on our Bajan Affair segment. Share your amazing stories, experiences, and how you have adapted to a new culture. Send us an email to morninbarbados@cbc.bb, and together we will travel the world.
Some ask, what makes Barbados so special? We at Mornin Barbados say it's you, our exceptional youth. You are talented, resilient, and inspirational. You are the epitome of the Barbadian spirit. testing the boundaries of your creativity. If you are an entrepreneur, artist, baker, designer, author, or have done anything you think should be highlighted, email us at morninbarbados@cbc.bb. Let us show the world our exceptional Bajan youth.
The Ministry of Youth, Sports and Community Empowerment's Bridges television series is back. Join us every Wednesday at 8 p.m. with a repeat on Saturdays at 5:30 p.m. on CBC TV 8. Don't you miss it.
God will not give you a job. God will not call you to do something and then not give you the capacity to have it, to make it happen. He will give you the resources, he'll give you the people. Not only will he equip you with ideas, but he will equip you with favor, as he did Nehemiah.
Turn on the latest episode of Infinite Possibilities, only on CBC TV 8, every Sunday at 1:30 p.m., sponsored by Covenant Life Teaching Center.
Welcome to Nature's Discount, the ultimate health food store. At Nature's Discount, we have thousands of quality products at great prices.
Hi guys, Dottie here with Nature's Discount, and today we are talking about solar ray, microbiome, probiotics, and why you should be taking them.
And we have well over 3,000 amazing products to help you get healthy.
For your health tips, tune in to CBC TV 8 every Monday, Tuesday, and Thursday for Nature's Discount, sponsored by Get Healthy Incorporated.
Week after week, Scold presents exciting reports and documentaries on the most varied topics of our time. Spectacular developments and innovations, lifestyle and trends of tomorrow, mobility and tourism, health news, highlights from art and culture. Each contribution grabs the viewer with extraordinary images and stories and takes him into fascinating worlds which he experiences here exclusively and up close. We're there when companies and specialists develop super satellites for a global network in space and can look behind the scenes. Scold is a window to everything that is there or is yet to come. Fly with us through time to better understand today and tomorrow. You've always wanted that. Scold, a look into the future.
Our world today is not the world God wants it to be. One of the reasons which will surprise many is that our planet, its governments, and its peoples are all living under the weight of Satan's rule. From the beginning of mankind's existence to today, human history is the written record of what it means to live under the rule of the devil. Yet that rule is coming to an end. And what a difference that will make.
Every Sunday at 9 a.m. on CBC TV 8, tune in for Tomorrow's World, sponsored by the Living Church of God.
Books open your heart, your mind, and your soul. They are educational, entertaining, inspiring, and motivating. Are you an author of a recent book you want to share? Then Mornin Barbados would love to feature your book in our The Next Chapter segment. Send us an email to morninbarbados@cbc.bb. That's morning without the G. Come and let us turn those pages together.
Hey there, it's Mahalia. I want to share something that might be really helpful. If you're feeling anxious, overwhelmed, depressed, or lonely and have no one to talk to, call Lifeline Barbados. We all face struggles at times in our lives. You're not alone. There's no need to feel ashamed or embarrassed. It's okay to reach out for support. Lifeline Barbados is completely confidential. No one else will know you called. They're there to offer a caring ear and guidance without judgment. And fellas, I want you to know asking for help is a true sign of strength. It takes real courage to reach out. You can also call Lifeline Barbados if you're worried about loved ones who are struggling and you need advice on how to support them. There's a saying, a problem shared is a problem halved. but not everyone has someone they can confide in. That's why Lifeline Barbados exists, to be there for you or someone you care about during tough times. Save this number. Lifeline Barbados is just a call away. Remember, you can reach out whenever you need to talk.
Morning, morning, morning. Good morning. Good morning to you.
For the month of June, we are gathering in St. George, and I'm inviting all of you to join us here. Here at Ellerton, we had our Sports for Peace program and Kiddies Football Clinic. Mr. Trevor Thorne, he held the clinic with about 20 children here, and they had a wonderful time. They had a mentoring session first, and then they went out, they did some drills, some things I've never seen before, but it was beautiful, and they had a great time. Right now, they're at lunch.
I'm Marlene Moore. I was born in Waverly Court, St. George, some 82 years ago. Waverly Court was a hive of activities, especially on weekends. There was this gentleman, his name was Joshua Dixon. In those days, we never used a word like entrepreneur, we would say the shopkeeper. And his building consists of a grocery shop, a rum shop, a baker shop, a casino. Yes. Adjacent to the casino was a standpipe. So you know it was a lot of activities that used to take place there. People would have things like service of songs, singing, and other community activity would take place in the casino. It was not a place for gambling, but there was always something happening in St. George and mainly around the plantation. Coming on to the end of the crop, this is when you hear crop and crop over. Those people would dress up the trucks and get on the truck and come through with some music because the crop has finished and they feel free now to do anything that they want to do until something else comes up, you know. So I believe this is where Mary Shaw, don't remember his first name, where he started with this concept of crop over. I don't remember the year either, but I believe that's where it actually came from. And I'm hoping and praying that one day, when I'm about to leave this earth, that I will leave it from St. George, surrounded by my children, grandchildren, and great-grandchildren, and my family. When the Lord sees it fit to take me, and I'll be moving from St. George.
So, remember, we're gathering in St. George this month. I would have hoped to have had the Ellerton Wesleyan Holiness Church, but I can tell you, these Fields and Hills Run and Walk is happening on Sunday. And so we'll be talking a little bit more about that with them, hopefully before the week is done, about how you can be a part of it. It's a really, really big community activity, and so we can't wait to share with you about that. But you need to register as soon as possible. Registration allows you to have a t-shirt as well. Tomorrow, Thursday, we're having Q in the community. I will be reminding you of where to go in just a little while. Today is Wednesday, however, and again tomorrow, Thursday, we are all invited to come on to the school compound at the St. George Secondary School, because they are showcasing to you and to all who visit the school everything that's great about what the school offers. You will see some wonderful creativity from the lessons taught to the students. They will put that on display. You get a chance to interact with them and maybe get a sample of just what is happening from the school curricula at the St. George Secondary School today and again tomorrow. So it's open day at the school today and tomorrow, so take the time if you can. This is not open just to those who live in the environs of the school alone. This is open to all of Barbados indeed, to really come and celebrate with the students of the St. George Secondary School this week, today and tomorrow, in their open show day. And so they want all of you to come by and see what the students are doing. You will be truly inspired. And so I can't commend that to do enough indeed. So again, go to St. George Secondary School today and tomorrow to be a part of it. Then the Future Island, the Small Island Future Festival kicks off tomorrow, Thursday, and again on Friday at the University of the West Indies. It's absolutely free. You can see what the future looks like right before your eyes today. And so that's it for today. Thank you so much for keeping us company. My little crew joins me in wishing all of you a great day. Be it the will of the Lord. We'll see you tomorrow. Bye-bye.
Wake up, wake up, wake up, wake up. Barbados, get up. Good morning.